To be joined by Sir Ed Davey, leader of the Liberal Democrats. Thank you very much for joining us. Just want to get your immediate reaction to the white paper released by the government on immigration today.
Well, it's great to be with you. We need to clear up the mess that the Conservatives made of our immigration system. Immigration became out of control under the Conservatives. So it's right that we have some reforms, and some of these reforms look like they're going in the right direction. But what we need to do above all is to show how we'll help British people take the jobs that we need doing in our country. We need a proper programme for that, and not least in care. Liberal Democrats have argued for a number of years now that the only way we'll sort out our care problem, the shortage of care workers, is not like the Conservatives did, issuing hundreds of thousands of care visas, but by paying our care workers here fairly and properly. So we've argued for a special minimum wage just for care workers of £2 an hour above the national minimum wage as a minimum. That's the sorts of policy which would, I think, attract people maybe from a supermarket or an Amazon warehouse or something like that to work with our elderly people, our vulnerable people, and as part of that, making sure that people valued caring as a profession.
And you also had the local elections in the past few weeks, where you did some very well in some councils, but you didn't do great in the mayorals. Why do you think that is?
Well, we were very pleased with the local elections for the Liberal Democrats. We were the only party that held off reform, and we won some councils for the first time ever, places like Oxfordshire and Cambridgeshire and Shropshire, and became the largest party in councils like Devon and Wiltshire and Gloucestershire and Hertfordshire. It was a huge success for the Liberal Democrats against the Conservatives. Yes, we didn't do as we would like to in some of the mayoral elections, but we were really close in Hull and East Yorkshire. And I think the Reform are worried about the Liberal Democrats there, and quite rightly so.
You recently announced a policy on headphone dodgers as well. I myself hate them. I was on a journey just on Friday night, and someone brought a very large loudspeaker onto the train playing music at full volume. How is it practically enforceable though?
Well, I think people who play loud music on their phones or elsewhere on public transport, it really is unacceptable. It's really antisocial. People behave normally on there. They want that quiet, and they use their headphones. But these headphone dodgers, as we call them, are disturbing the peace, frankly. What we need to do is first of all have an awareness campaign to make sure that no one is in any doubt that you should wear your headphones and you shouldn't be playing loud music and disturbing other passengers. And secondly, it is possible for the guards on tubes and trains, and indeed drivers, to enforce these laws. It's been done in the past, it's been done elsewhere. So I think it would be a major step forward if people realised how bad this can affect other passengers, and also realise there were consequences. They could be fined up to £1,000.
Where do you see the future of the Liberal Democrat Party going? Do you see yourself potentially entering into coalition with another party in government, maybe Reform, maybe the Conservatives, maybe Labour, but also across the national picture too?
Well, last July, the Liberal Democrats had our best result for over 100 years, and we're delighted that young people from all age groups came and backed us, and we did really well, 72 new MPs. And what I'm trying to do is make sure we do even better than that at the next election. I'm not worried about the other parties. Obviously, we are diametrically opposed to the Reform Party, who stand for values that are completely alien to us. We want to make sure that we bring people together in our society, that we're not divisive, and that we want to stand up to people like President Trump, whereas Nigel Farage wants to lick the boots of President Trump. So we have a very distinctive position, but I think we've got momentum behind us, and I think people will be surprised to see how well we do in the years ahead.
Finally, you have got a new book coming out very soon at the end of the month about social care. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, my book's called Why I Care, Why Care Matters. I've been a carer most of my life. I cared for my mother. My father died when I was 4. My mum became terminally ill when I was 12, and I nursed her with my brothers and others till she died when I was 15. I was then looked after by my brothers and by my grandparents, and then my lovely Nana, who I became very close to, I looked after her when she became elderly. And my wife and I have 2 wonderful children, one of whom, John, is severely disabled, so we look after him and care for him every day. So I've had a life of caring, and I know that millions of people across our country are caring for their loved ones too. And I want to bring that to the fore. I want people to talk about care more, because if we don't sort out family care, we won't sort out social care, and we won't sort out the NHS. So it's right in itself. People are working hard for their loved ones, elderly people, disabled people, and they need better support than they get.